Hughley. All right, welcome in the Daily Fix, a Friday edition in the building. We appreciate you joining us all week. We've been at this thing for a little bit. This is the Daily Fix with Ron Hughley. You see Steve Serta in the little box. As I said, we've been at this thing a little bit. We appreciate everybody jumping in. Right, Steve? This thing is growing every day, isn't it? It's growing every single day. New people trying to get that fix every day. Love it. Love it.
We're doing really well. So I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Listen. Okay, Steve. We're doing well. I don't know if we're doing really well yet, but we're doing well. We're doing well.
We're getting there slowly but surely as we get closer to the regular season.
Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. And we got a game coming up tomorrow on Saturday with the Chiefs and Lions that we'll look at a little bit as well. But first thing I need you to do, those of you, as I said, if you're listening on Twitter, we appreciate you. Those of you on YouTube, as always, we appreciate you. Please head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media presents the Daily Fix. Go ahead and like and subscribe, Foolish Club Media. If you do not, you are preventing my 3 children from eating, and that is a true story. All right, I ain't gonna hold you long. Want to get to a couple of things here. One, listen, I don't know how long we're stretching 15 minutes of fame, but we've got to be at 14 and 30 seconds or 30 minutes or whatever with this individual. Also, I think this may be a take that might confuse people in the NFL, but I would urge that you just allow me to express it and hear it out. But before we get to those things, as you can see, you can follow down at the bottom of the screen on what's coming up. But is Andy just in the business of just lying to us? Like, look at that face right there. Look at that little face. That face right there is a liar. He lies a little bit. Andrew just kind of lies a little bit. My man said the starter's going to play the first half. I mean, just like last week, you were serious about there's no chance that they're going to play a quarter. There's no chance. And you predicted it, Steve. They played a drive. They led Patrick Mahomes led that first unit that included Sky Moore for some reason on a drive for a field goal, and they got the hell up on out of there. This week, Andy is saying they're going to play an entire half. I don't believe that. I think Andy says stuff like this. I don't know if he's lying or not, or if he's filling it out, but there's no chance. It never comes to what he says it is. And listen, I honestly, Steve, I don't have a problem if the starters play a half. I just think we need to separate the designation for these guys. I think there should be a designation for Hall of Famers, and there should be a designation for starters. See, I don't mind if Leo Chanel is out there trotting in the third quarter, to be frank with you. I'd be all right to see him continue to get some work coming out of the second half. I wouldn't mind seeing some of these guys, like Justin Watson's going to have to play a bigger role with Hollywood Brown out. I wouldn't mind if they're playing a half. Those Hall of Famers, though, I don't need to see 15, 87 to 95 for a half. Like the Hall of Famers, give me a drive. I'll be frank, I don't need to see them. But how about a drive or two, and then they get the hell up on out of there, and maybe you then play the other starters a little bit more. But
that's why you bring in Carson Wentz.
There you go. Come on, Carson Wentz better get a quarter. How long do you think they get? I think they play maybe a quarter.
Yeah, I think it's a quarter tops. But if they come out in the first team offense, like if they get a touchdown and a field goal to start things out, they're done. Like they're not playing more than a couple of drives.
Yeah, if it's 2 drives that doesn't take up the quarter, I'm with you. There's no chance they're playing a half. I don't know what could occur for them to play a half, but especially when Dan Campbell comes out, Steve, and says he's not going to play very many of his starters, right? So like it's now, what's the look you're getting? It would have been nice to see Kingsley have to go up against their pass rushers, really big time 9-7 to see if they go up against their pass rushers, but they're not going to play. So yeah, I mean, don't give me a half, about a quarter. Those of you guys going out there to have a good time, you're not going to see Patrick Mahomes very long. All right. Hey, man, did you see Caleb Williams? Caleb is looking good. I wish he'd go, maybe get a haircut, line up that beard. A lot of people have issues with his bags, his fingernails, his phone case. My deal is, man, you're gonna be on national TV, man. You can get lined up. Now, come on, man. You can get your lineup. You can get you I don't think he's had a haircut since before the draft. And I mean, like that look, the photo we have right now, that is Caleb right now. But he looked really good in his first preseason game. And Steve, this is my thought with it. I sat and watched C.J. Stroud in every one of his games last year, and it was extremely impressive how he played the quarterback position for a rookie. I'm telling you this right now. I would be more impressed if Caleb Williams were to win 10 games and get to the playoffs the way that C.J. Stroud did with the Texans. And I know people may look at that, and Steve, you may look like, what the hell are you talking about? This is my reasoning for this. I think maybe we weren't completely for sure at the time, but now we definitely know that C.J. Stroud had a superstar at head coach, and it looks like he had a superstar at offensive coordinator. And I think Bobby Slowick might be the hottest commodity after this year. And maybe we didn't know it at the time. They had a really good combo there. They had better weapons maybe than we thought. I was very impressed that he didn't have a run game and was able to do the things he did. But the biggest reason for me, Steve, is it took about 8 to 10 weeks before teams actually looked at the Houston Texans and took them serious. Teams are going to take the Chicago Bears serious right off the bat because Caleb Williams has been a guy that's been the number one pick for years, a la like Andrew Luck or Trevor Lawrence. Everybody knows how talented he is. And you start to look at that roster and what they have, like you got to get serious about Swift and DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Rome and that defense that really came on at the end of the season. So they're not going to surprise teams the way that I think the Houston Texans surprised teams at times last year. And they're in a tougher division. If they win 10 games while everybody is ready for the Chicago Bears, like ready every week, that I think you're going to see teams take them serious every week in a way that I don't think the Texans were taking serious. It will be extremely impressive in that division if they're able to pull that off.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but I do think you're right because the division alone that the Bears are in, like the Texans were impressive last season. I think the Bears undoubtedly have a more talented roster on paper than the Texans did last year with C.J. Stroud. But they were also in a super easy division. They didn't have any like legitimate contenders who could come in and play them twice a year and challenge them the way that the Bears are going to struggle in the NFC North.
And Steve, we covered the game. There's a big difference, and we saw it with the Chiefs. There's a big difference when a team takes you serious and plays you all out and they're thinking about it all week, than for a team that. I mean, I bet you some of them teams, them first 4 or 5 weeks, they didn't even take curfew serious. I bet you coaches said, "Go ahead, guys, come on, man." They was out partying a little bit. So I think that is a big deal. All right. Lastly, when is this going to be over? When is this hot Tuah girl? When is her 15 minutes that feels like has been extended to 19? When is this going to be over? She threw out the first pitch, which I am sure there are Mets fans like Jerry Seinfeld rolling in his living grave that hot Tuah comes out and gets a first pitch. There are the newest Houston resident, but New Yorker 50 Cent, who is rolling around in his living grave that this young lady got to throw out the first pitch. She's throwing out the first pitch. I was in Cleveland a couple of weeks ago. She was out there going around making money at SummerSlam. She is everywhere, all because she got nasty and honest in a video. And now this hot Tuah girl, by the way, I believe her name's Madison. Hello, Maddie. This young lady she's made almost $1 million. Like, shout out to her. But how long is this thing going to extend, Steve? I can't believe This 15 minutes has extended to 19.
Well, one is throwing out the first pitch at any baseball game really that big of a deal anymore? Is it really that big of an honor now? I feel like you can get. I feel like they let a lot of people do that.
Yeah, no, it is. Maybe in Arizona, but she's in New York. This isn't Milwaukee. She's going to New York with the Mets, where they can pick up and Jimmy Fallon can come out and throw it, and now Hot Tuah Girl is doing it.
I also think I don't know if she's gonna go away anytime soon.
You think this is a statement?
It's not like I'm following what she's doing, but I've seen her staying busy and appearing on all this stuff and probably cashing all these paychecks. But I think it's more of these viral sensations and stuff now just seem to have more staying power than they've ever had before. Instead of just showing up, going viral for a minute, and then you fade away a week later. It just feels like they hang around a lot longer now.
There is no way when she did that she was going to be asked to get paid to throw out the first pitch in New York. There is no way when she did that. Steve, we gotta come up with something. I stood out with a sign in front of Arrowhead once. I thought that might go viral, but no dice, not like this. We got to come up with something. I'm hoping. Listen, you make your money, Madison, but my goodness, this has got to be. She's lasted through the Olympics. This has got to come to an end. I'm surprised they didn't fly her out to Paris. She's got an OnlyFans page now too. So for those who are wondering, hi Mom and Courtney.